Before we get into today's video, we just wanted to remind you guys that we are planning a group trip to Greece next year in 2024, and we'd love if you would come along. All the information is down below in the description area. All right, on to the video.
I'm on my way now.
In the last video, we took you guys to beautiful Punta Cana to show you what it's like to stay at an all-inclusive resort. And in this video, we're doing something entirely different.
We have made our way down to Bayahibe Dominicus area of the Dominican Republic to tell you not to stay at an all-inclusive resort. Do this instead. Today we're going to be showing you around this amazingly beautiful apartment complex. This is not an all-inclusive hotel, but it's absolutely gorgeous. If you've never watched our previous videos when we were here in the Dominican Republic before and saw other apartments that we stayed at throughout the island, you might not know that this even exists, but there's definitely amazing alternatives to all-inclusive hotels.
You guys might have caught a glimpse of the grounds here. We'll absolutely take them down there, huh?
I know, the pools here, when I looked it up on Airbnb, the pools looked incredible and I thought there's no way they can be this nice in person, but honestly they're even better than I expected. We're going to give you a little bit of a tour of our apartment before we really get going into the video. So this is an actual apartment. Real people live in this building, which is amazing. People move down here, believe it or not. People move to the Dominican Republic from countries all over the world and live in places like this.
So we'll give them a tour quickly. This is a big patio for starters. You have a nice table. You have a couch with kind of a weird cover.
Yeah, I think it's like not an outdoor couch and they covered it up, which is kind of not what I would do, but to each their own.
Something that's really cool is there's a big shade here. You guys might be wondering what that is. That's blocking the sun, so that's very helpful.
Yeah, you can put it up and down. I think it's relatively easy. We've just been keeping it down because honestly we get a lot of sun on this patio. Come on inside and we'll show you around in here, but first, let me point out that there is a screen on this door. If you're from maybe Canada or the US, that might not seem like a big deal. Of course there's a screen on the door, but a lot of Europeans are here and sometimes it tends to not, they don't put screens on the door, so kind of a big deal.
So this place is actually a studio apartment, so it's a little small, but for us, it's all we need. We're just here for about a week. The thing is, in the whole complex, I believe there are 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, but this tour should be kind of quick of our place at least. So here you have, I think it's a king-size bed or maybe like an oversized queen. There's a couch right here, I believe, that turns into a bed as well. We actually really like this setup because over this way there's a TV. It's actually kind of clever because the TV is right in front of the couch and the couch is right in front of the bed. We actually really like that setup. Have a big wardrobe here as well so you can fit all your clothes, even though I didn't unpack. All my suitcase and clothes are right there. And then we come this way, we have, of course, a table. This folds up, but you guys know by now, I just make it a desk. Every time we rent a place, it turns into my office.
So the kitchen is right behind me. I think if I actually lived here, I'd put like an island or something right here, just something small, because it's relatively, it's a little bit, it's not too big, but there's a big open space here.
It's calling for an island, isn't it?
It is, but one thing I love about this kitchen is there's actually a full-sized stove in here. Like, it's got like 6 burners and an oven, and honestly an oven is a hard thing to come by down in these parts. Usually you just have like the stove top or whatever you want to call that, not the oven. There's no microwave, not a big deal, but you know, if you want to reheat
There's also no kettle, so we've been kind of using this pot to heat up water to do a pour over.
Yeah, this is the only thing they have to make coffee.
This is like a little espresso maker, right? Like,
yeah,
it's
I think it's Italian. It might be Italians that actually own this place. There's a lot of Italians around here. It does have a blender though, very nice if you want to be making some smoothies or some pina coladas or something like that. And of course there is a full fridge here as well.
So I'll take you guys into the bathroom here. First, there's a full-length mirror. That's handy. This looks like bricks, but it's not. It's actually foam bricks. That's interesting. So over here we have the bathroom. There's a walk-in shower. It's pretty tight, so I'm sorry guys. Of course you have a toilet. There's a vanity. You have some storage here. And yeah, here's a better look at the shower.
Welcome to the pool area. So we've been to a lot of places in the world and have met a whole lot of pools in our lives. And I can honestly say these are some of the most beautiful I've ever seen. They're really, really well designed. I think there's 4 of them here. Some of them have sand around them. Some of them have like 0 entry and some of them have stairs going in. I love the design.
So this was easily one of the biggest selling points for us. The grounds here, you guys, they're just absolutely out of this world. Look at all the beautiful palm trees as well. And I do have to point out that the buildings, they're that nice in white style. It just contrasts the beautiful greenery, the color of the pools. We absolutely love this place. And the best part is it's in a great location.
So you might be wondering, how much is this gonna cost me? So we booked this about 3 weeks out and we're here in October, so keep those things in mind. We paid about 65 USD per night. I did notice earlier in the summer when I started looking at this area, the prices seemed a little lower. I think it was just because we booked last minute. We paid maybe a little bit more. So you might pay a little bit less if you book a little bit earlier. You might pay a little bit more if you're booking for like high season.
You guys might be noticing how much we are sweating because it is absolutely stinking hot today. Just know if you're coming down here in October, it's extra hot. It's like 33 degrees, I think my watch said it.
No wind.
No wind, and it feels like something like 39 or 40, and it's a little bit humid. Ooh, bee. So we do want to talk about why we prefer kind of like renting our own apartment, especially when you get gorgeous places like this, versus a resort. We want to open your minds up to perhaps not staying at a resort.
Yeah, so there's a huge amount of factors that go into it, but it's just really the lifestyle for us and the freedom of just being able to walk out, eat wherever we want, do whatever we want at any time of the day. There's no restrictions. It's not like lunch is at this time and everything.
That's the thing. We absolutely love shopping for groceries, doing our own thing, meeting locals. Like I said, we know some Dominicans in the country, and we just like the freedom, as you said, and especially when we're close to like local restaurants and stores and cafes. They're just right outside of our complex here, and we're about to take you to them now.
By the way, we will put the link in the description for the particular apartment that we're staying in, although I think if you open up the Airbnb map to Dominicus, which is where we are, you're going to find lots of units in that particular building. But oh my god, it's so, have we mentioned it's hot outside?
I know, it's a little louder outside. You got horns, there's people on bikes. It is a quiet town.
It is a pretty quiet small town, but we maybe need a little bit of a refresher. There's a tiny little mini market over here, kind of fun. Maybe go find ourselves a beer.
This is kind of funny. There's like a little chicken here all tied up. Some people watching things, and into the store we go. Yeah, there's no shortage of alcohol.
No, you're not gonna go thirsty or dry here.
We ended up getting one of these Canita beers. So it's a craft beer from Punta Cana, which is kind of fun. Punta Cana is sort of close by.
Yeah, it's like an hour-ish drive from here. The nice thing about this area that we're in near La Romana is that it's kind of halfway between Punta Cana and Santo Domingo. So really good location in that sense.
Plus, we talk about this every time, but we always forget you can just like get a beer and walk down the street.
Ooh, it's nice and cold.
So you guys can probably tell that it's a little chill and tranquilo around here, huh?
It's super quiet, like especially during the day. There's hardly anybody around. I bet you in like January and February it probably gets pretty busy around here, but this time of year it's really, really nice. There's kind of one main like pedestrian only walkway, which is also really great.
Yeah, there's actually places still open, and just to show you, like no one's this way and no one is that way. So this would be packed in high season.
I think so.
So this of course is Dominicus, and it's a pretty small town. You guys can probably tell it's pretty chilled out. There's not a lot of restaurants, maybe a few, maybe a half dozen. There's not a lot of cafes. There's a few touristy shops. Also, we can't help but notice it's all Italians here that live here. So that's pretty fascinating to us. We're trying to figure out why, but basically it's like a pizza and pasta town. Now here's the other thing about Dominicus. We're really close to the beach, except there's something standing in our way. There's a big old wall right here, and it actually spans the whole town. I think the resort is Viva Wyndham, so it basically blocks us from getting to the beach. If this wasn't here, we could get to the beach in like a matter of minutes. I did look on Google Maps, and I believe there's public access, but it's really small. Further up, it might be a 15-20 minute walk away. Maybe it's a little closer. So there's that at least. But if you're thinking this place is a little too small, we're going to take you over to Bayahibe in a little while in the video, just so you can see the other town that's close by. We hear it's just a bit more lively.
One thing we were actually a little bit confused about before we booked this is what is actually considered La Romana, because I think this area isn't technically it. You're not even in the province of La Romana. You're like a 20-30 minute drive from the city, but all the hotels around here have like the Hilton, La Romana, etc., etc. But you're not really there. So when we first started looking, we thought like we're going to be staying in the La Romana area, and I think some people do consider Bayahibe Dominicus part of that kind of area, but some people probably don't as well.
We've just come over to the biggest supermarket. I'll call it a supermarket, a mini market in town. There's actually quite a selection in here as well. For the size of the town, I didn't actually expect it to be, well, so convenient. There's so many things in here. There's different pharmacy items. There's fridges and fridges and fridges and fridges of drinks. That just keeps happening as well. What are you eyeing over here?
So this is one of the go-to wines that we discovered last time. I'm going to say the selection of wines not always the best here in the Dominican Republic. It can get a little bit expensive. These guys, I remember last time that the Chardonnay tasted like Sauvignon Blanc and the Sauvignon tastes like Chardonnay. I never buy Chardonnay, but this is the only one I ever buy.
That's way too funny. It's like they got the labels mixed up here. Should we get one?
Now I wonder if they figured out that they're making an error and now we should be buying the Sauvignon Blanc, but it's going to be a test. So this isn't like the biggest grocery store that we've ever been to, but they've got a really good selection of things. But if you did want to go to like a much bigger grocery store, you could go into Punta Cana. They've got a Jumbo there, and Jumbo really is Jumbo. It's got literally everything.
It's basically like a Costco.
It's like a Costco, but not with a membership. It's just a huge, giant supermarket with literally everything.
I can't even stress how good it feels just to be kind of walking around the streets again. In the last video we were on a resort, but now we're back in the real Dominican, on the streets, going in grocery stores. It just feels good.
Living a daily life. I love it so much. I cannot wait to get to Cabarete.
Yeah.
You guys might know that we spent a long time there a couple of years ago. It's like our favorite place on the earth, and we're going back in a couple of days.
Yeah, so get ready for a lot of videos from the north coast of the DR and other places, don't worry.
We have come over to the cutest little cafe. It's called Color Cafe. On the outside there's like a beautiful mural, so you can see why the name fits so nicely. When you come inside, they have all these like local products. They have really great coffee, but we'll get to that in a second. But they also do their own roasting here, and then they have like a thing where you can read and see all about how the process works.
Yeah, this is probably the coolest part. You get some of kind of the old machines. There's photos. It's like little history books here, and then yeah, you can even see some of the beans as well.
So I absolutely love that place, but does the coffee taste good? This time I got a latte, an iced latte I should say, with coconut milk, which is my new favorite thing.
Leche con coco.
It's so good. Their coffee has a really, really unique flavor, almost chocolatey. It's so good.
All right, well I think it's time we ditch this town and take them over to the other one.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, we've now come over to Bayahibe. It's a pretty short drive. I think it maybe took about 5 minutes, and we decided to start things off at the beach because we have been over to the town before, but we never walked over this far to the beach. It's all right. Honestly, I expected it to be a little bit better. Maybe we need to walk down farther, but right here it's a little bit like rocky and wavy.
It's a bit rocky. There's some like abandoned structures there, but I think the main section is way down that way.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to zoom in so you guys can see it, but it's still really nice. I mean, it's all really powdery sand. There's just some rocks around.
Yeah, we did actually take a stop over. We didn't film it, to the public area of the beach in Dominicus, which is beautiful, I have to say. We might have a photo or so to like throw up on the screen, but I don't think we actually took any B-roll.
No, we didn't, but definitely we'll put that photo up. You guys heard us mention it a few times now, but one of the benefits of being here in low season is you do kind of get areas all to yourself. This area, Bayahibe, is known for Bayahibe, I can't say it correctly, but the big thing that happens here is people get boats and tours out to Isla Saona, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
So I would imagine in high season this town would be crazy, and even this section of the beach, like you can see, like look at that behind me, there's like no one behind us right now, but I would think that it gets pretty busy.
I bet you in high season it's just jam-packed with people.
The other thing you might notice here is, well, there's a lot of boats, so I assume these are the tour boats.
Yeah, so this is as we make our way back into town from the beach, and loads of tour boats. People, you can see them coming in, can hear them coming in for sure, and they're just packed with people.
Yeah, look at all the colors of them though. It's like these kind of style. Yeah, it's really neat to see. Of course, those little boats are not the tour boats. They're probably more like fishing boats. The tour boats are kind of just out a little bit further. You can probably see them now, and the whole like bay here is just absolutely filled with them. And again, I just keep thinking like, man, there must be a lot of boats here come to December and January. Whew, I can't even imagine.
We came across this little restaurant here with a really great view. Was gonna get a Presidente, but they're all out, so went for a super Dominican Corona, sorry. At least we had Dominican beer from a very much more local beer earlier in the video, so there's that.
But how about the view?
Yeah.
This is quite something. And I think the sun's gonna go down over there later.
Oh yeah, I think there are. We're oddly enough on the south side, but kind of facing west, so I think there are good sunsets.
So we ended up ordering some tostones. We absolutely love these things. They're like fried plantains. I don't know if you guys have ever had them or not, but down in the Caribbean, especially in the DR, we come across these all the time. They're like the perfect kind of beach food or hot weather food, like a snack, like a bad snack, you know what I'm saying? They're not good for you, that's for sure. They're deep fried, but let's try it. Oh man, I just miss these things so much. They beat French fries on the beach any day of the week. Although we really enjoy having a snack here on the beach, one thing we really like about not staying at a resort is we can buy our own food and cook in our kitchen. Yes, we actually do that. Once we get into our apartment that we're going to be in for months, we're going to be going to the grocery store and shopping for our own food and cooking at home, believe it or not. I know sometimes you guys are like, do you ever eat at home? And I'm like, yes, we do. We do eat at home most of the time, although it's pretty tempting when you're down here in the DR, especially at the local restaurants. Sometimes they're just really, really affordable, and it's the temptation is, well, I can spend less and go eat out, or I could spend more and go cook at home. What would you do?
So you might be wondering, if you're coming to this area, would you want to stay over in the Dominicus area or over here in Bayahibe? I'd say it's a little bit louder, a little bit busier over on this side, although certainly not like crazy busy or anything, but Dominicus is just so quiet, I can't get over it, especially for the Dominican Republic. If you've been here before, you know it can tend to be a bit of a loud country. People like to make noise, play their music, have loud motorbikes.
Listen, they can probably hear the motorbikes coming or going in the background.
Yeah, but you don't hear a lot of that over in Dominicus, which is really interesting. So if that...
There you go.
Point proven. Yeah. So if you don't like to hear that stuff, I'd say stay over on the other side. Also, as I also mentioned, but we didn't actually show you, the beach over on the other side is really nice when you actually walk down. It's about a 5-minute walk, I think, from where we were, like the walking area. Just keep going. You finally get to the public beach, and it's beautiful, and I'd say more so than here.
Well, we've hooked quite the sunset here tonight. This place is over the top beautiful. It's really the first time we've been down in the south of the country, like below Punta Cana, like we're on the south coast.
We were in Santo Domingo as well, but there's a whole section of like this country right in the middle here that we've never really visited any of it. So. And
the reason we're here mainly is because when we were here about a year and a half ago in the DR up in the north coast, a lot of you guys watching said to us, you have to go down to like around the La Romana
I feel like
region.
A lot of people also reach out to us and ask us if we've been here before wanting advice, so now hopefully we can give you some.
Yeah, we hope you guys have found this video helpful, and did we encourage you to kind of get off the resort? Don't stay at a resort. Like, look, we like resorts sometimes. I mean, sometimes as well. But hopefully we encourage you to get off the resort in the DR, because this place is so awesome. The people are friendly. The food is fantastic. Way better than most resorts. That's for sure. It's lively, as you can still hear the moto conchos in the background, and you get beautiful sunsets just like this. Man, it feels so good to be back.
I'm so excited to be back. I was going to say, if we didn't, in fact, convince you that you should try something a little bit different, maybe the next video will be for you.
Yeah, so should we tell them that we got invited to do something?
Yeah, a little bit different.
So we actually got invited to go check out one of the resorts in the town we're staying in, Dominicus.
An all-inclusive.
An all-inclusive for free. So
for the day, not to stay overnight, but to come visit it for the day. I feel like there's got to be some sort of catch.
There's a catch. There's got to be. Oh, I mean, we didn't ask or anything. There's got to be a catch. So stay tuned to the next video and find out to see what's. I mean, we couldn't say no. I mean, if they're gonna offer, let's do it. We'll try it out.
Yeah, free resort for a day.
So if you got this far in the video and you don't know who we are, it's Trevor, Anna, Delightful Travelers. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave us a comment, heck, share the video. That all just helps us out. But for now, we're gonna keep watching this amazing sunset here on this beach.
It's getting way better.
It gets better by the second here.
Yeah.
Finish our Dominican Coronas. I promise we'll find Presidente's soon. And just call it a day, huh?
Yeah, all right, guys, that's it.
From, do we say it's La Romana? Or
Bayahibe?
Bayahibe? I'll just say La Romana.
Yeah.
All right, do it again.
All right, guys, that's it.
From La Romana, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.